Hello, English 12 onliners. This is your video for week 10. There's 18 weeks in a semester, so we are rolling right through. There's only one thing you have to read this week in Unit 2. It's the last thing, and it's called The Men We Carry in Our Minds. And I mentioned last week it's one of my favorite pieces. Sorry about that. I'm not sure where to hold this thing. Don't have any help. It's one of my favorite pieces because, as you know, in gender roles, we've heard from all different kinds of people, different perspectives. This is from the perspective of a guy who grew up, it's an essay, so it's nonfiction. He grew up in a super poor area, and he got a scholarship because he was smart to go to college. And then once he went to college, he met a bunch of girls who they'd be your typical feminists today, who were accusing all men of keeping them down, taking the best jobs, etc., away from them. And he's confused because where he's from, women had it much better than men, because all the guys he knew, including his dad, were manual laborers, also known as blue-collar workers, basically worked their fingers to the bone and then came home and worked some more and then died young. And the women, in his opinion, had a better life, a hard life too, because they were all, scrimping and saving, but at least they didn't have to work in factories and things like that. So it's just a kind of a neat perspective. And in the class, I'm going to talk about socioeconomics and how that affects people of all genders, and all nationalities. Socioeconomics just means where you're from and how much money and education you have. Those things determine many times how better off you're going to be. And in his case, he was from a lower socioeconomic area, and then it affected him. All right, so anyway, after that, I'm not going to assign questions. My class is going to have like a wrap-up discussion basically on the whole gender role thing. I might throw up some discussion questions for you guys. I haven't decided. It's just not quite the same when you're not here. And my class online is asynchronous, which means I'm not allowed to have you all show up at the same time and have a conversation, which would be really great. Anyway, I might again throw out some of the questions to you just to get your response. So that's what we're doing on Monday. And then it's time to take tests. So I'm going to give the vocab test on Tuesday for Unit 2, and I gave you the words earlier. And then the literature test this time is a two-parter. Woohoo! There's a literature part, and then there's going to be an essay this time. So the essay is really important because we don't have a whole lot of writing assignments, and those are weighted. And so you want to make sure to do your best job on the essay. So in person, Monday is the last class. We're going to wrap up the whole unit, have some discussion, and then vocab on Tuesday, and then we'll review for the literature test. Wednesday is part 1. Thursday is going to be the essay. Either that or I'll flip-flop it. And then Friday is independent reading day. Thankfully, it's a nice relief for the kids. Hopefully for you too. And then the following week is when we start our next unit, our last unit from the textbook. And that is going to be Hamlet by Shakespeare. Not an easy read, but if you listen to my videos and ask questions when you have them, you'll be just fine. Hamlet is the play that has the to be or not to be speech. That is the question. And you'll know what that means once we read it. All right. So good job. Please just keep working hard. Don't wait till the last minute to do things. I see some of you are turning things in at 11:59. And the reason I say that is because then you can't ask me questions, because believe me, I am sawing logs at that point in my life. So that's it. I will talk to you next week.